So a while ago I made a Hyperdeck plugin for Unreal Engine 5, and now I made an advanced version. This is version 0.7. I'm still planning to add a couple of things, but I already released it, so you can already play around with it. So these are the nodes that are in the advanced version, and I will quickly show you how to set it up. So here we have a project in Unreal Engine 5, and we just need to make sure that the actual plugin under broadcast Hyperdeck Control Advanced is activated. And now if we create an actor, and we call it Hyperdeck Connect, double click it, go to event graph. So here we are in the blueprint, and let's just connect to the Hyperdeck. And we have two options. We can do connect Hyperdeck, and that is just a direct connection, or we can do connect Hyperdeck and wait for connection. This will only fire if the connection is successful. Otherwise, you can use this branch to check if it's successful. There are several use cases for it, depends on what you're actually building. So let's remove this one. And when the actor starts playing, I want to connect to my Hyperdeck, and I know it's on 192.168.1.98. Then we want to promote this to a variable, and not use this executive pin, but use the connection successful. Then it saves it to the variable. And important for Hyperdeck, because most models only support a certain amount of connections, we need to disconnect. And we do that when we stop the actor. Event and play. Then we want to disconnect the connection from the Hyperdeck. So now with this connection, we can actually do several things. I will not go over them all, but we can get current clips on the timeline. We can get playable clip information from slots, get transport status, go to clip, go to timecode. This one is experimental, has to do with drop frames, non-drop frames, and how Hyperdeck handles that. We can ping it to keep the connection alive. Depends on if you have a timeout on your connection. We can play, record with custom names, send custom message, set active slot, and stop playback recording. So let's start with a simple one. We do get playable clips from slot. And now we just connect the connection. If we have, depending on which Hyperdeck, but mine has 2 slots, so we want slot 1. And let's do when response is received for each loop. We plug in the array. And now if we split the structure, we see that we get the ID of the clip name, the file format, the video format, and the timecode. So now if we just print the clip name, compile, save, and we drag Hyperdeck Connect into our level. And now when we hit play, we'll get the actual clips that are available on slot 1. So now if we change this to slot 2, we get the 2 clips that are available on slot 2. Don't use this on event tick. It will crash your engine. So only use this node when you want to request the available information about the playable clips. So another one I want to show you is the get transport status, and this gives a status from the Hyperdeck. So now if we have response received, do print string, we're gonna split the structure. And now if we want, for instance, if it's playing or stopped, we can do get the information status. So if we press play, we get to see that it's on preview because there's nothing on. So let me quickly play something. And now a clip is playing. And if we press play on the engine, we see that it's play. And for instance, you can also get the speed that it's playing at. So at this moment it's 100 what is the default speed. We can get the slot ID, what actual SD card it's using. It's now using SD card 2. Then we can get the display timecode. That is the timecode that you see on the actual Hyperdeck. Then we can get the information timecode. Let me just delete these. Information timecode. And that is, in this case, actually the same as the display timecode. But you can, depending on what mode you're running your Hyperdeck in, these can differ. And then, of course, we can get the clip ID. So, in this case, clip 1 is running. And we can get the video format that it's running on. In this case, it's 1080p 5994. And you can see if the clip is looping. So yeah, apart from these nodes, there are way more that I showed you before. And yeah, try it out. Let me know if something is wrong.